Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. This morning, I have the privilege of sitting and chatting right here in studio with the Acting Divisional Fire Officer, Leisa Hamilton. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, and good morning to Tobago.
Well, it's a privilege to have you here, and this morning we are chatting about your book, The Pioneers 30 and Beyond. Tell us a bit about that book.
That book came about because the first 30 women that were ever enlisted in Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service, and I was part of that. So I have the privilege of, as I tell people that are in my life, I'm a walking history of what took place in Trinidad and Tobago when we were first enlisted.
Right, and so before your time, the service was predominantly male, and you were part of that first batch of females that entered the service. Tell us why it's important to preserve this type of history, and how does the book account for this history?
Well, first to begin with, history, people feel history is something so boring, and I'm trying to bring some life to it, right? And being the first, and we are still alive. We just want to show Trinidad and Tobago and even the world that we are here, and we continue to press on in this service, because there are a few of us remain, approximately 7 of us remain in the service right now, and we still want to show the world that we are here, we are working hard, and we continue to carry on the legacy of the first 30 women that were ever enlisted in Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service.
And where can persons access this book?
I have a few copies personally and from my publishers, but they are in the United States, and we know of the tax situation right now. So in Indiana, my book was published.
Right. Is it available on Amazon for persons to purchase the book online?
Well, it used to be a long time, because since 2007 this book was written. So
it's still available on Amazon?
It is still available. You can source it online as well, yeah.
Right. And is it available at the library in Tobago?
Yes, Tobago Library has a few copies, thanks to former Chief Secretary Orville London. He had purchased a number of copies for the Tobago libraries.
Excellent. Yes. And, tell us why it's important for persons to have a copy of this book and just understand the history of women in the service.
First, to begin with, to show young ladies, young girls, young women in Trinidad and Tobago that we can do it. We can get into these jobs that are male-dominated. We have the capabilities and the abilities to join the service, to train, to learn how to function. We have the capacity, and we are here to carry forward this service.
Right, and tell us, does this book also target or enhance the capabilities or the understanding of current female service officers within the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service?
With every job, it have its problems, and I think that being there, being the first, and we can say how things took place before, and to continue forward how things are happening, we have a voice and we can say how things transpired and how things should be, and especially with the backdrop of women being in these organizations that are male-dominated, it must have situations happening, yeah? But we are here, and I must say that I want certain things to still carry forward with the respect and how the job was when we came in. It was a tough situation. It was like trial and error. But we try our best to function, because we know on the backdrop of that, we are maintaining Trinidad and Tobago as service personnel going forward. And this is so dear to me, and I really feel it, because especially how things are changing. I know they talk about the new generation, the millennial, how they call them, but we still want to show you that history is important to know how things were and where we can go forward in the future.
Tell us why it's so important for you to now, this book was not just published yesterday, this book was published in 2007. Why is it important for you to be promoting this book even in 2025?
Well, I must say I was given the opportunity by Mr. Wood at this studio here Tobago updates, and he was surprised to know that I had a publication so many years ago. So he was intrigued by that, and he wanted me to come back in the studio to speak about it. And I must say the importance of it to show, as I said before, young girls and young women that we can enlist in this sort of service and have a career, because this year, the 1st of December, I'll be making 33 years in Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service. And that is something dear to me. And I must say I appreciated the fact that Trinidad and Tobago gave us a chance, gave us this opportunity in this male-dominated environment.
Right. And, even as you have been a part of the service, is this the first time ever that there's no independence period?
Outside of COVID.
Outside of COVID.
That I can recall, yes, the first time. Yeah.
Right. And, that in itself is history. Do you think that this is a time period or, that you would be writing about in the future?
I'm not sure, but these days, especially from last year, I gravitated to try to write poems and so forth and to express myself that way. And I must say that when I joined the fire service back in 1992 to 1993, it was so overwhelming with writing because I was not a writer. I never believed that I would have been writing anything at all. But when we had to sit down and write a lot of entries on the Century Post, I was like taken aback about that. And I said, nah, I had to get down and get serious about this and write and write my entries. Really, really a great number of entries to be written. And especially sometimes if the guys go out on the truck and they spend the whole day out there, you are faced with this Century from 9 in the morning to 6 in the evening. So it was a lot of writing, and I was intrigued by it, and I got myself into it and started to attend classes and so forth. And then I got into the association, the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service Second Division Association. They gave me a break at academics. They enlisted me in doing the program Labor Studies, the associate degree. That was the highest level at the Cipriani Labor College at the time. And I was one of the participants from the association who was able to do that course.
Excellent. And, even as we round up our discussions this morning, how important is it for females within the Trinidad and Tobago, whether it be the Defense Force, the police, the Air Guard, Coast Guard, Fire Service, to really find their passions and their drive and their purpose outside of the service, as you have done with your many writings and the other things that you have involved yourself in? How important is it for them to build that area of their personal development?
Well, first to begin with, I will tell ladies, women, have time management. You see, time management that is important, and find a niche, find something that you can do that you like. Because with writing, I'm passionate about a lot of things. I plant garden, I sell my lettuce in Scarborough with my mother, and I also rear broilers, and I also continue in doing studies because I've since been able to have a master's as well. I went to the University of the West Indies, St. Augustine, where I attained a master's in education, health promotion. So that's one thing. I try to balance my life. So I'll tell people, balance your life. Find things that you like to do. Even if it's to go to church, be in some group in the church, do something. Find something that is you. Don't let anybody else tell you what you can do. You find what you can do. Yeah? So I don't know if I'll be given opportunity. I have a poem for Tobago.
Yes,
I'll be able to do that.
Yes, even as we close, you can definitely close with that.
All right. I just put it together because the way I'm so passionate about Tobago, when I went to training, I must say I got homesick about leaving Tobago to go to Trinidad to train. It had impacted so much on me, but I still have Tobago so dear in my heart. So can I go ahead?
Go ahead.
So I put this thing together from last week. I hope Tobago receives it well. So it's about Tobago's Tobago-ness. I always say Tobago have this Tobago-ness. We are so unique and different, but let me go. Who say Tobago, Tobago, sweet Tobago? You mean Tobago's Tobago-ness. Every year she becomes more beautifulness. Through slavery, wardship, and colonialism, she remains more bountiful. Her Tobago-ness keeps her clean, beautiful, green, and serene. Oh, we can all dream. But they say our future are in the hands of them youths. Let's tell them about our strong men and women without refute, who grace the shores of this 116 square miles land. From APT James, A&R Robinson, Dr. Murray, Chairman Dinoon Hochoy, and London. Morgan Job, Kenneth Bob, Cynthia Alfred, Patrick Arnold, John Arnold, Michael Duncan Happy, Dr. Easton Mackenzie, Lord Nello, Roll Bacchus, Calypso Rose, Sherwin Winchester, Cecil Caruth, Cecil Dalrymple, Dwight York, National Norbert, Merson Bartlett, Dr. Bobby Andrews, and Commissioner Hercules. Perseverance is key. Perseverance is real. Heritage, sports, culture, and academics is the cream. Let's keep Tobago together as she remains pure and more beautiful for the future. Her unique Tobago-ness will reign till the master. And I must say some notable mentions to me. With getting here, the Trinidad Tobago Fire Service 2nd Division Association, and persons who enhanced my life, Mr. Justin Bowen, Mr. Leslie Skeet, Dr. Timothy Afonso, Sir Eden Charles, Sir Marcus, and I must say that Trinidad Tobago under 21 netball team, let's lend support to them. They'll be going to Gibraltar come 19 September to the 28th September.
Excellent. Well, we want to thank you guys. You heard it here, right? Off of the lips of the acting divisional fire officer, Leisa Hamilton. Good morning again to you. I want to thank you so much for coming and, showcasing your work that you have done, but also giving us a piece of your heart through your literature. And we hope that you would, find ways to preserve this. And we look forward to your other writings that has to do with your compilation of poems. Guys, I want to thank you so much for being a part of this morning's discussions. Thank you for your likes, your shares, and your comments, and all that you have been doing and continue to do to make Tobago Updates the #1 broadcaster here on the island of Tobago. Again, I am your host, Shenell Felix, and have a great day.
I say, thanks a favor to wake up and hear me.